Have you ever felt distant from God, even while trying to pray? It's like you're speaking, but the words fall to the floor. You want to believe He's near, but your heart feels empty. I've felt that silence too. Mornings where I wondered if God still hears. But something changed when I stopped trying to perform. I just came to Him broken, and that's when everything shifted. I remember one morning, sitting with my Bible open, confused. I whispered, "Lord, I don't know what to say anymore." And in that silence, the verse from James 4:8 came to mind. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. It wasn't about perfect words. It was about coming sincerely. That morning, I felt a peace that hadn't visited me in weeks. If you've been feeling far from God, I understand. Sometimes we carry shame, doubt, or disappointment inside. But God isn't asking for your strength. He's asking for your heart. When we seek Him with honesty, He meets us with mercy. Even David cried, "Do not cast me from your presence," Psalm 51:11. He knew that only God could restore what was broken. In that same chapter, David prays, "A broken and contrite heart, O God, you will not despise." He's not rejecting you. He's waiting with open arms, even if you come weeping. I started praying simply, "Lord, here I am. Just be near." No fancy words, just the truth pouring out of my soul. And slowly, His nearness became more real than my fear. If this touches your heart, consider subscribing to our channel. We share these prayers to lift souls and bring light to others. Help spread God's presence by sharing His hope each morning. Every new day is a chance to begin again with God. And someone out there needs the same hope you're finding now. Be part of this light, share it, live it, believe in it. That morning prayer became a habit, not out of duty, but desire. Each morning, I'd speak softly, "Good morning, Lord, I'm here again." Even if I felt tired, even if yesterday was heavy, He listened. It's not about how strong your faith feels, it's about showing up. Just showing up before Him changes everything. Because when we do, He shows up too. Psalm 16:11 says, "In your presence is fullness of joy." And I had to ask myself, why am I chasing joy elsewhere? God's presence isn't just comfort, it's the source of purpose. It anchors your soul when the world feels shaky. That morning, I learned that presence isn't about emotions. It's about truth, staying close, and letting Him hold you. There were mornings when I sat in silence with Him. No words, no songs, just a quiet heart trying to rest. And even there I knew, this is what He wanted, me. Not my performance, not my perfection, just me. And when I gave Him that, He gave me everything I lacked: peace, comfort, strength, and a deeper love. If you're starting your day feeling overwhelmed, it's okay. You don't need to have it all figured out. God isn't looking for your answers, just your presence. He wants to walk with you through every hour. And when you let Him, you'll feel less alone. Because the One who made you is still by your side. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you." That verse carried me through moments I wanted to quit. I read it every morning for a week straight, and it became my anchor, my promise in the storm. You don't need big prayers. Just whisper, "Stay with me, Lord," and He will. I promise you, He will. What helps you feel close to God in the morning? Tell us in the comments. We are a family here. If you're thankful for His presence, write, "Thank you for staying, Lord." If you need prayer, let us know. We're here for you. Let's lift one another up every day, together in faith. You are not alone on this walk. We're with you in love and prayer. There was one morning I'll never forget. It changed everything. I woke up feeling lost, like my heart had forgotten how to pray. But I forced myself out of bed, whispered, "Jesus, I need you." I sat with my Bible open on my lap, no words, just tears. And the Lord met me right there, in that quiet surrender. His presence wasn't loud, but it was undeniably real. That morning I read Jeremiah 29:13. "You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart." And that's when I realized God doesn't hide from us. He waits to be found, not through effort, but through sincerity. He sees the tears we never speak, the longing in silence, and he comes closer when we finally stop running. I think sometimes we expect thunder, but God comes in whispers. Not always in miracles, but in gentle peace in our chest. He's the breath that steadies you when you feel like quitting. The whisper that says, "I'm still here," when the world is loud. That morning, I stopped searching for feelings and started seeking truth. And truth led me back to him every single time. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about opening your heart, even if it's cracked. Even if your faith is weak, God welcomes your return, because he knows that love grows best in surrender. And surrender isn't giving up, it's letting God take over. It's saying, "I don't have the answers, but I trust you." I held on to Psalm 34:18 during that season. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those crushed in spirit. That's who he is, a God who draws near, not away. He runs toward you when you feel like hiding. He holds you when life has dropped you to your knees, and his nearness becomes your healing. If you woke up today feeling far from him, it's okay. You're one whisper away from restoration. Just say, "Jesus, I want to come close again." That's where the healing begins, in honesty, not in fixing yourself, but in letting him carry you. He knows your heart. He knows you're trying. I remember asking God, "Why do I feel so far from you?" And he reminded me, "I never moved. Come back to me." Those words echoed through my soul like a gentle call. Not a rebuke, but an invitation. So I said, "Okay, Lord, I'm coming back every morning." And day by day, the distance disappeared. His presence began to fill places I didn't know were empty. My thoughts became gentler, my heart steadier. Not because life got easier, but because I wasn't alone. And that's what God's presence does. It anchors the soul. It gives you rest even in the storm. It's a peace this world can't understand. John 14:27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you." And I realized I had access to a peace untouched by circumstances. So I stopped chasing answers and started choosing nearness. Because being near to God changes how you see everything. You don't just survive, you begin to live with purpose. You begin to walk in quiet confidence. This is your reminder. You can come close again. No matter how many days you've been away, no matter what doubts have clouded your faith. The door is always open. He's waiting for you. You are never too far, too broken, or too late. Grace is still reaching for you this morning. What's one thing you're believing God for today? Share it in the comments. We believe with you. Let's lift each other up as a community of faith. If you felt his presence again, write, "You're still near, Lord." And if you need a fresh start, tell him now. He's listening. We're standing with you in prayer and hope, always. There's something sacred about returning to God each morning. It doesn't have to be dramatic, just honest. Even a whisper of, "Lord, I'm here," is enough. Because it's not the strength of our words, but the sincerity of our hearts that moves him. He comes close to those who simply call. I started realizing that nearness to God changes my reactions. When I feel close to him, I'm less anxious, less defensive. Even on difficult days, I sense a deeper peace inside. Not because I'm stronger, but because he is. His presence steadies me when everything feels uncertain, and that stillness becomes my strength. There's a verse in Exodus 33:14 that I love deeply. "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." That promise is for you too, today and always. Wherever you go, whatever you face, you're not alone. His presence isn't locked in a building or a feeling. It walks with you, gently, faithfully, every morning. I've learned to pause throughout the day and say, "Lord, let me not forget you are with me," because the world distracts us, drains us. But God never leaves, even when we lose focus. He's patient with us, reminding us of his nearness. And his grace is always enough to bring us back. There was a season where I battled deep doubt. I questioned everything I believed, felt ashamed to admit it. But God met me even there, in my confusion. He didn't scold me, he stayed with me. Psalm 73:28 became my anchor. But as for me, it is good to be near God. That verse silenced the guilt. It reminded me, being near is the goal, not having all answers. Faith is often less about certainty and more about presence, just showing up to God with an open heart and saying, "I don't know everything, but I trust you." That trust is what brings us closer. If you're tired of pretending, you don't have to anymore. God already sees it all and still calls you his. He longs for you, not your performance. He wants your presence, not perfection. Because in your presence with him, healing begins. And hope starts to bloom again. There's peace in knowing you're accepted as you are. No masks, no pretending, just real connection with God. That's the kind of prayer that changes things. Not just our circumstances, but our hearts. It softens us, humbles us, draws us back, and from there, we begin to heal. When you feel empty, remember this. Emptiness is an invitation for God to fill you. He loves to pour into those who admit their need. When I finally said, "I can't do this alone," he answered, "You were never meant to." And that truth carried me through the darkest times. Isaiah 43:2 says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you." Not if, but when, because trials will come. But his presence makes all the difference. He's not distant in your struggles. He's right there, whispering peace, strengthening your soul, holding your heart. You're not walking through this alone. What verse has helped you feel close to God lately? Share it in the comments. It might bless someone else. If you've felt him near, write, "You never left, Lord." And if you're still waiting to feel him, keep praying. Sometimes his nearness is felt most in the waiting. We are here, believing with you and for you. The more I returned to him in the quiet moments, the more I recognized his voice in my heart. Not an audible sound, but a gentle assurance, a peace that didn't match my circumstances. That's how I knew. It was him. He still speaks, and he still stays. Some mornings I would just sit with my hand over my heart, whispering, "Lord, let me feel you again today." And even if I didn't feel much at first, I stayed. Because faith isn't always about feelings, it's about trust. And trust grows each time we choose to stay near to the one who never changes. God isn't asking you to be strong this morning. He's asking you to be honest, to bring whatever is real, pain, doubt, or praise. He already knows what you carry inside, and still he says, "Come to me." There's rest waiting for you in his arms. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This promise isn't temporary. It's for today and every day. If you woke up tired in your soul, this is for you. Rest is not just sleep, it's peace in your spirit. It's the quiet assurance that you're safe in his hands, and he holds you tighter than your worries do. I used to think I had to be better to get close to God. But one morning he whispered, "Just be here with me." That changed everything. I stopped trying to earn his love, and I started receiving it. Because his love isn't earned, it's given, and it's more than enough. If today feels heavy, breathe deep. You're not expected to carry it alone. Let his presence hold what you cannot. He knows what's ahead and walks with you into it. You don't need to see the way. You need to stay near. That's where your peace will grow. When I remember how far he brought me, I'm humbled. Not because I figured it out, but because he never left. Through confusion, doubt, and silence, he stayed. And if he stayed with me, he'll stay with you too. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. You are not forgotten. Sometimes all you need is to whisper, "Help me, Lord." And that small prayer is enough to draw him close. He responds to honesty, not perfection. So speak to him like a friend who never stopped loving you, because that's exactly who he is: faithful, kind, and near. When you begin your day in his presence, everything else shifts, even if nothing outside changes. You walk differently, love deeper, breathe easier, because his peace begins to guide your steps. So don't rush past this moment. Let him fill your soul again. Psalm 27:8 says, "My heart says of you, seek his face. Your face, Lord, I will seek." Let this be your prayer each morning. A heart that seeks, a soul that surrenders. That's where life begins to blossom again. You're not too late. You're not too lost. God is still calling you closer. In these moments of prayer, we are being healed. Sometimes quietly, sometimes deeply, but always intentionally by a God who sees it all. He knows what your heart hasn't said aloud, and he's answering even now. So stay near, keep praying, don't stop. Tell us in the comments, how has God drawn you close lately? Let's share hope with each other right here. If you've been comforted today, write, "I rest in you, Lord." If someone comes to mind who needs this, share it with them. We are a family of faith, lifting one another up. Never forget, you are loved, seen, and held. And if you felt God speaking to you through this video, click on the prayer video that's now on your screen. It's a prayer made for the moments when you feel weak and you need strength and peace to keep going. Click it, listen slowly, and let God renew your heart. He has more to say, and he will speak to you there too.